Hi, I was just watching your video about people being closed-minded about Wicca. I agree with you. There is a lot of things that we are closed-minded about as individuals, but it wasn't the thought process of we were given free will to make decisions and whatnot. Now, I understand we all want religious equality and everything. That is great to strive for, but yet again, I'm also seeing it from your point of view, but also seeing it through another set of eyes, even though I practice Tamaranian and other deities and stuff like that. Now, the only thing I'm going to make a valid point on also is that as much as we want religious acceptance from or by Christianity, everything else, within this world, we also have to have a different point of view or standpoint ourselves when it comes to their religious aspects. Now, yeah, I can battle somebody with the whole words from the Quran, which in all interpretation is supposed to be like a book of love, of self spiritual love for one another. Um, the Bible has been taken out of so many contexts, along with the words of Jesus and his teachings, that they keep forgetting that. I think one of the things he said was, "He without sin cast the first stone." Now, that also goes with the whole thing of what they forget. But in the long road of that, what we do practice, um, our Wiccan Read isn't the one the words "and ye harm none, do as ye will." Now, I also think that if you really want to get down to it, the best way to explain it to somebody that isn't a Wiccan is to take something from their context and translate it into yours. Because if they turn around and see that, no word of a lie, that we're placed on this earth to love, honor, and respect one another and do for each other, then maybe, yeah, that would be great. But there's also another thing that I have to realize is that, when you go out in public, it doesn't matter what cross you bear, what pentacle, what goddess symbol, you know, or what god symbol. It's all about feeling connected to God and being true to the world, being true to oneself. And I can understand why you're getting upset with the apathy, but it isn't by leading example as a community that we're going to actually get something that's worth um, demonstrating. Like, no word of a lie. The Christians, yes, they do preach Jesus and everything and all his teachings. But yet again, how often do you see many of them leading by example instead of going by the Old Testament that they shouldn't be going by? Because it was also said in the New Testament, I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the light. So when it comes to certain things that are within the Wiccan backgrounds and whatnot, we also have to look at where things come from other people's standpoints. Because you have to realize when Gardner and Cunningham were coming up with certain things to translate each other's work, it wasn't necessarily translated properly. Now you're going to go, okay, blah, blah, paganism has been around for centuries. Yes, it has. But yet again, you also have to think how many religions were made in a man made society. Man made. Religion is man made. And we're made perfect. Henceforth, why we are not perfect. This is why we each have our own paths to turn around and try to understand. And yet, with somebody turn around and saying that, could you please put it away? My words will be no. Why does it offend you? And I would actually ask them. Because sometimes you have to dig deeper. Is it something that they are taught? Or is it their own religious ignorance that has developed over ages? Um, I think my problem being is that my father is a strict Roman Catholic, and when I turn around away from the teachings of Jesus, as he put it, and said, I don't feel connected, because when I went out to a priest as a child and gave him a message from a deceased family member that blew him out of the water I should have known about, it kind of freaked them out. So you have to realize that there's a lot of things they don't believe in because they also have the belief system that nothing is higher than God. Nothing is higher than Jesus. But yet again, there are a lot of us that are spiritually connected this way for a reason. Um, I also know that, it is also hard to say this, but look at the way they also persecuted the Native Americans and Canadians for having their spiritual beliefs, you know, and for being different. Look at all the ways people are persecuted around the world. Religion is religion. Now, you're going to hate when I'm going to say this, but it's also brought along a lot of loopholes of hatred over a belief structure. A lot of people have been killed in the name of God. A lot of people have been killed in the name of Goddess over the many years. You can't say that hasn't happened because look what happened with the Greek religion and along with the Roman religion back in the day. There were sacrifices, even with the Mayans. So, is it really following a religion is what we are connected to? Or is it something that where even if we're Wiccan, we feel connected to the earth and to a higher deity that is more important? So you have to self-examine a lot of things. Yeah, I can understand people are very upset, and I can understand why it hurts, because I've had it done. But yet again, it is also in our nature, or supposed to be within our nature in our Wiccan Read, to turn the other cheek and not harm anyone. And also give out with perfect love and perfect trust. How are we going to have perfect love and perfect trust if we do not send out love and give trust back? It is such a push and pull scenario that a lot of us forget what it is like because we are so angry. Sometimes you have to balance yourself just like you would with your any energy working, sorry for the moment, but any energy workings. Sit down calmly and think to yourself, am I the one who's going to cause a huge ripple in a storm? Or am I just going to tip my toe in and watch it go slowly and have the ripples of life in the water get bigger? Now, with that being said, I also believe that karma does happen. We are being watched for a reason. And we're being watched because, it's to place a judgment, apparently, on how our soul was, so that because of when the last lives we had, we do not fully remember everything. So it's basically placed upon our life story. Our life is not in this body. It is within our soul that continues on. So henceforth, if you think about it, a lot of Christianity, whether they want to believe it or not, when Jesus says, I am the way to eternal life, it is his teachings. So you can have so many debates upon things, but it isn't until we accept things and give with love and perfect trust and don't cause harm. And as Jesus would say, don't cause sin, that we're going to find a happy middle ground. Yes, there is temptation. Yes, there is evils in this world. But there is such a misconception because of the old ways of the old churches before 100% Christianity came into effect. Before Yahweh had Asherah wiped out. There's a lot of things that need to be looked at and examined. Is it really a religious aspect we are fighting for? Or is it the fact that we want human compassion and love? That's something I want to think about more often. Where's the human compassion and love? Just because I wear a certain symbol doesn't necessarily mean that I am unable to love, be compassionate, be empathetic. Is it the rules of a book that matter, or is it the kindness of human beings that continue our evolution or our spiritual existence as it is? One way or another, our souls are immortal, but what we carry on through this life may happen to the next. So, as we get angry, do we get angry fully? No. Do we sit back and turn around and get to the point of where we let our emotions control our judgment? Not a good idea. Yes, we are able to be angry. Yes, we are welcome to be having these free thinking emotions and thoughts and urges, because we were not created a deity. We are connected to deity the through our thoughts or our feelings. Because being it as a human species, it is in our primate and our natural instincts to feel connected to other humans, to another social group, whatever. But you also have to turn around and think, where did religion go wrong? It's not necessarily Wicca. It's not necessarily Catholicism. It's not necessarily everything else. Where did a wonderful thought go wrong? I honestly hate to say this, Adam and Eve, they didn't have any religion. Yes, they believed in God. Yeah, they probably believed in goddess too, because it was said that Eve was the second wife. So, if that's the case, right, then why are we fighting? They didn't worship a Bible. They did not follow any writings or commandments brought forth by a man on top of a mountain by the Lord. That's another thought. You know, it's got to continue somewhere and it's got to stop somewhere. All I say is lead by example. If you're willing to give love and respect back by answering a question or asking them kindly, then maybe the first thing you can actually say to that person, if they are a Christian, then I'm very sorry. This is not the teachings of Christianity and Jesus and what you are doing. He's taught us to love one another, treat another with respect and kindness. So many things have been lost within the thought process of a Bible or a Quran or whatever. It's the teachings of love and being connected with love and harmony and whatnot, and doing for another without asking for anything back and paying it forward, that he was teaching us about, or what our goddesses are trying to teach us about, or gods. Same example within our Wiccan Read. I hope this has helped out a little, but I might not get a good response. I'm sorry for the echo, but the computer's a little screwy. So I'll talk to you soon, and I hope this has helped. Bye.